Addressing some very big major issues, and I'll just go through them briefly now. Our first component will be greening Asia and the planet, and what will it take? Feeding a hungry world, Australia as the clean green food bowl, that's our second component, and connecting and growing our economy and integrating with our neighbours, that's the third component for this morning's session, which will take us through to the afternoon. Following on from this morning's session, we'll be looking to you for your questions to create a dialogue and discussion about this. As Steve said to me yesterday when he appeared on my program, that this is not just about talking, this is about identifying opportunities, real opportunities to use in the future and to progress and take to the next level. So with that in mind, I'd like to hand over to my co-moderator, Andy Dawes-Birch.
Thank you, Whitney. As you've heard from the visual presentation, the Global Foundation has had a long and very specific focus on green issues and takes a positive approach to identify how these challenges that are facing our national and global environments can be addressed by identifying some very practical opportunities to ensure that some of the issues are actually addressed. But it done so using Australian expertise and in association with our partners in the immediate region and more broadly. The Foundation has a proud, long-standing relationship with Brazil and is in fact due to run its next mission to that great country in association with the forthcoming Rio Earth Summit. Something that you heard about at dinner last night from the Mexican presidency, which has invited the Foundation to be active in working with the G20 to support its processes. I'd like to invite our first speaker, representing Brazil, His Excellency Rubem Barbosa, to give us some insights now in relation to this important issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Start by thanking the Global Foundation to give me the opportunity to be here with you today. In the name of my government, I must say that we are really very much looking forward towards the conference to be held in June, 22nd and 23rd of June. We are already, we have confirmation of 110 different heads of governments going to Brazil at that time, and it was particularly good for myself to hear from the very Prime Minister, Julia Aguilar, yesterday evening, that she is definitely going to join the gang. It is very much an opportunity to have Australia in Brazil at that time, and there is also the arrangements for a bilateral meeting by bilateral visit between the Prime Minister of Australia and the President of Brazil. I must say this is going to be a first in our common history. Being the two major economies in the Southern Hemisphere, I think it's very much lacking, and this is a lacking that shall be fulfilled very soon, and I'm very happy with that. Brazil sees itself as particularly credible to hold the conference. I worked in the first one in 1992. We are very happy to hold the second one 20 years. I mean, the second Rio after 20 years. We do have 85% of our production of electricity from renewable energy, and our whole energy matrix is 46% compounded of renewables, mostly because of the use of hydropower plants along our history. This is, again, I think it makes us credible to hold the event. We are very much hoping to welcome as many Asian friends as we can at that time. And one piece of good news concerning renewable energy that I got over this weekend from Brazil is the considerable increase in the production of wind energy in my country, something that we thought we were also owing. Our potential has been for wind production has been evaluated to the extension of 143 gigawatts because of the conditions, territorial conditions of my country, So I must send a word of incentive for potential investors from Asia to be there at that particular time in Brazil and possibly exploit new possibilities. Brazil is always starving for new foreign investment. It is a good place to do business in, and this particular venture that is very much catching up and should put a big increase in the participation of wind energy within our matrix cannot be done only by ourselves. So it will be a good time, in a good sense, to mix more and more policy between our two countries and business between Brazil, Australia, and hopefully other Asian countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'd now like to invite Dr. Zhang, who is General Manager for China of GHD. GHD, as you know, is a sponsoring member of the Foundation and in particular of our very practical work in China. Dr. Zhou has been instrumental in establishing and growing their business in China, and over the past 5 years has been the director of the program overseeing $25 million of Australia-China environmental development funded by AusAid. May I introduce you? Thank you.
Thank you. Urbanization in China in Asia is continuing, and over the next 10 to 20 years, 250 new cities and towns will need to be designed and built to accommodate about 300 million migrants from the rural area. Those urban development must be sustainable. GHD is a multidisciplinary architectural engineering firm and has adopted an integrated approach when we design those urban centers. Integrated urban development includes smart transportation, transportation systems, can reduce transportation nodes and reduce fuel consumption and emissions. Green building is also part of urban development, where for the buildings consume less energy for cooling and heating. Another area of integrated design, it is an integrated city landscape with water systems, and that will provide a screen space for people to enjoy their life. One of the things Australia doing very well, it is sorting and recycle its waste. And in China, and this is an area which has a great potential. Waste can be recycled to produce some useful products and also reduce landfill. Urbanization and industrialization place a great stress for energy demand in Asia. Despite for huge investment into renewable energy, including solar and wind powers in China, significant amount of the energy will still need to consume coal. In the next 20 years, the coal consumption will not reduce in China, but increase. So we must find a way to consume those coal, utilize those coal more, and with a clean coal technology. Australia should not only involved in supplying the energy to China or Asia, but also should be involved developing and utilization clean coal technology or clean energy technologies. Another major issue faced by Australia and Asia is water shortage and water pollution. Water shortage in rural area has a negative impact on agricultural production, in turn, and has reduced the food impact on the food security. Water shortage and pollution in cities restrict urban development, also cause significant health issues to population. Integrated approaches must be adopted for water management. Australia and China has been sharing experience through the Australia-China Environment Program, which I have been managing. on behalf of the Australian government. The experience we are sharing, including develop policy framework, develop regulations, and using economic mechanism like water pricing, and apply scientific monitoring and modeling tools to manage water resources, and adopt advanced technologies in water and wastewater treatments. I believe Australia can play a bigger role in greening Asia and the planet, not only by supplying energy and resources to that region, but also share our knowledges and technologies with China and Asia. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.